Okay, so when you picture an eagle, what's the first thing that comes to mind?
For me, it's usually that intense look, those sharp eyes.
Definitely the eyes.
Yeah.
Or maybe those huge wings just soaring. They're such powerful hunters, too. That's the common picture, right?
Exactly. But we know there's always more beneath the surface. So today, we're doing one of our deep dives. We've looked at a bunch of sources, and the mission is to pull out the stuff that maybe isn't common knowledge.
Yeah, the really fascinating bits, the things that make you go, wow. We want to give you that shortcut to understanding just how extraordinary these birds are.
Yeah.
Beyond the basics.
So you mentioned the eyes, and that's probably the best place to start. We all know eagle eyesight is amazing. They spot things from miles away. But how? What's actually going on there?
Well, it's pretty incredible. First off, their eyes are massive relative to their head size, almost as big as ours, which is wild when you think about it.
Wow, okay.
And the acuity, it's estimated to be up to 8 times stronger than human vision. 8 times? 8 times. That's hard to even imagine. What does that mean in practical terms?
Think about reading a newspaper headline. An eagle could potentially do that from, 2 miles away, effortlessly.
2 miles? Okay, that's staggering. Is it just like having built-in zoom lenses?
It's more complex than just magnification. Their retinas are packed way denser with photoreceptor cells, cones for color and detail, rods for low light. Much denser than ours.
So higher resolution, basically.
Exactly. Plus, they have 2 foveae, those points of sharpest focus in each eye. We only have 1. So they can focus intensely on something straight ahead and maintain sharp peripheral vision simultaneously.
Built-in wide angle and zoom. Got it. But I remember reading something even stranger, something about the type of light they see.
Yes. This is maybe the most fascinating part. They can see ultraviolet light. UV light.
Which we absolutely cannot.
Right. And for a hunter, this is a complete game changer. Think about small mammals, like voles or mice.
Their main food source, often.
Exactly. These animals leave trails of urine as they move around. And those urine trails, well, they absorb UV light differently than the surrounding grass or soil.
So to an eagle.
To an eagle, those trails can effectively glow. They act like invisible highways pointing right to where the prey has been, or even where it might be hiding. It's like having a secret map only they can read.
A predator's GPS. That's unbelievable. It completely changes how you think about their hunting. Okay, so vision is incredible. Now, what about flight? Big bird, big wings. You'd assume tons of effort, right? Constant flapping like a pigeon.
That's the logical assumption, but it's actually quite the opposite. Eagles are masters of energy efficiency.
Really? How efficient are we talking?
Get at this. They can soar for ages, covering huge distances with maybe as few as 2 flaps per minute, sometimes even fewer.
2 flaps a minute. For such a large bird, that sounds, well, almost impossible. How do they manage that?
They've perfected the art of using thermals, those rising collars of warm air. Eagles are experts at finding them and riding them upwards.
So they just circle up on the warm air?
Pretty much. They spread those massive wings, catch the lift, and spiral higher and higher with barely any effort. Then they can glide for miles, losing altitude slowly until they find the next thermal.
It's more about skill and physics than brute force flapping, then.
Absolutely. Their wing shape, the high aspect ratio, is designed for maximum lift with minimal drag. And they can subtly adjust the feathers at their wingtips, the primaries, to fine-tune their glide, kind of like tiny adjustments on an airplane wing.
So this lets them scout huge areas without burning much energy.
Precisely. It makes them incredibly efficient hunters, scanning vast territories from great heights without giving away their position. It's a key part of their dominance in the air. Definitely one of the most energy-efficient flyers out there.
Okay, efficiency is key. But when they do spot something and they make that dive, then it is about power, right? The actual hunt.
Oh, absolutely. The power is immense. We know they're strong, but the stats are still kind of mind-blowing. They can carry prey that's almost equal to their own body weight.
Seriously, so say 10-pound eagle could lift something nearly 10 pounds.
Yeah, a bald eagle, maybe weighing 4 to 6 kilos, has been seen flying off with fish or mammals close to that weight. It's an incredible feat of strength.
And the grip, I've heard the grip strength is legendary.
It really is. We're talking around 400 pounds per square inch, or PSI. For comparison, the average human grip is maybe around 40 PSI.
So, 10 times stronger.
Roughly, yes. 10 times. Once those talons lock on, escape is extremely unlikely.
How does that work? Is it just pure muscle power holding that tight?
Muscle plays a part, obviously, but it's also the mechanics. They have this specialized tendon system in their legs and feet. When they clench their talons around prey, the tendons can sort of lock.
Lock, like a ratchet.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
It allows them to maintain that crushing grip with very little ongoing muscle strain. So even if the prey struggles or the eagle is flying, that grip stays locked tight. It's incredibly effective.
Wow, brutal efficiency. It's hard to square that kind of power with romance. But apparently eagles have quite the dramatic courtship.
They do. It's one of the more surprising aspects. Many species mate for life, which is romantic in itself, forming these incredibly strong, long-lasting pair bonds.
Meeting for life makes sense for raising chicks, I suppose. But the courtship itself...
It's spectacular. The aerial displays are just breathtaking. One of the most famous ones involves the pair flying high, locking talons in midair.
Locking talons?
Yeah.
While flying?
Yep. Clasping claws high above the ground, and then they'll often cartwheel downwards together, spinning in a synchronized free fall.
Free falling? That sounds incredibly dangerous.
It is. They tumble down, sometimes hundreds of feet, and only release their grip at the last moment, just before they'd hit the trees or the ground.
Whoa! That's intense. Talk about a trust fall.
Exactly. It's this incredible display of skill, trust, and partnership. A real sky dance, you could call it. It reinforces that lifelong bond, which is so crucial for them.
Okay, that's definitely not your average first date. Now, speaking of skill, it's easy to see these majestic birds and assume they're just born knowing how to do all this stuff, the hunting, the soaring. That's not quite right, is it?
Not all. That's a really important point. They aren't born masters. Young eagles, the juveniles, actually have a pretty steep learning curve.
Really? What do they struggle with?
Well, everything, really. Perfecting flight control, judging wind and distance, the timing of a dive, how to strike prey effectively. It all takes practice, lots of it. They can look quite clumsy sometimes in their first year or two.
So it takes years to get good.
It absolutely does. Years of trial and error. It's not just instinct, it's learned skill refined over time. Predatory behavior is complex, you know?
How do they even practice something like hunting without, well, starving if they keep messing up?
That's the challenge. But they do practice. Observers have seen young eagles doing things like picking up a stick, flying up high, dropping it.
And trying to catch it?
Exactly. Swooping down to snatch it midair before it hits the ground. It helps them hone their agility, their dive accuracy, their timing. It's like nature's version of flight training or hunting practice.
That's fascinating. Like little feathered fighter pilots in training. So they learn, they practice, they form these long bonds. What about lifespan? There's that old story, isn't there, about eagles getting old and doing some drastic...
Ah, yes, the rebirth myth. The story goes that an old eagle flies to a mountaintop, breaks off its beak against a rock, plucks out its talons and feathers, and then waits for new ones to grow, emerging reborn.
Sounds incredibly painful.
Yeah.
And not very likely.
Right. It's a powerful metaphor for renewal, and it appears in different cultures, but scientifically, it's definitely more myth than reality. Eagles don't do that. Their beaks and talons grow continuously, and they molt feathers gradually like other birds. There's no dramatic, self-mutilating overhaul.
Okay, so no magical rebirth, but the truth about how long they live is pretty impressive anyway, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Even without the myth, their longevity is remarkable. In the wild, eagles can live for a very long time. Up to 30 years is quite possible for some species like the bald eagle.
30 years in the wild, that's ancient for a bird.
It really is. And in captivity, protected from the hazards of wildlife, some have lived even longer, potentially reaching 70 years in rare cases.
70, wow. What allows them to live so long, especially in the wild?
Several factors. Being at the top of the food chain helps adult eagles have very few natural predators. Their incredible eyesight helps them spot danger as well as food. Their efficiency means they don't waste energy. And they're highly adaptable survivors. It's that combination of traits, honed by evolution, that contributes to their long lives.
Resilience and adaptability. That makes sense. And this adaptability, this position at the top, it means they play a pretty crucial role in their environment too, doesn't it? More than just being a cool predator.
Hugely important. This is something that maybe doesn't get talked about enough. Eagles aren't just predators, they're often what we call keystone species.
Keystone species, meaning they have a disproportionately large impact on their ecosystem.
Exactly that. Their presence or absence can drastically affect the entire structure and balance of their habitat. By hunting fish, rodents, other birds, they keep those populations in check.
So they prevent prey populations from getting out of control.
Precisely. Imagine if rodent populations exploded, they could decimate vegetation, which then impacts insects, other herbivores, everything down the line. Eagles help maintain that delicate balance. They're not just hunters, they're regulators, protectors of the natural cycle.
Can you give an example of that impact?
A stark example is the Philippine eagle. It's critically endangered, and scientists believe its disappearance could lead to the collapse of its entire forest ecosystem because its role in controlling populations of things like monkeys and lemurs is so vital. It really highlights how interconnected everything is.
Wow, so their survival is literally tied to the health of the whole forest. That puts their majesty in a different light. It's no wonder humans have been so captivated by them for so long.
Absolutely. That symbolic power is undeniable. Think about it. Ancient Rome, Egypt, Native American cultures, so many civilizations revered the eagle as messengers of gods, symbols of power, courage, vision.
And that continues today, right? National symbols, logos.
It does. It remains this potent global symbol of freedom, strength, resilience. There's just something about seeing an eagle soaring high, totally free and in command of its environment that resonates deeply with us. It reflects our own aspirations, perhaps.
It really does. What an amazing journey through the world of eagles. We've gone from that almost sci-fi vision seeing UV light
to their incredible flight efficiency, hardly flapping a wing.
Their sheer power, that locking grip, and then that wild spinning courtship dance.
And remembering they aren't born perfect, they have to learn and practice for years.
Plus, debunking the rebirth myth, but confirming their genuinely impressive lifespan thanks to their adaptability.
And crucially, understanding their role not just as predators, but as essential guardians of entire ecosystems, keystone species.
And finally, acknowledging that enduring symbolic power they hold for us. You definitely walk away with a much deeper appreciation.
Yeah, it goes way beyond just seeing them as impressive birds. You see the complexity, the adaptations, the crucial role they play.
Oh, absolutely. So the next time you happen to see an eagle, maybe soaring overhead or even just in a picture, remember what you know now. You're not just looking at a beautiful bird. You're seeing a master of vision, an unbelievably efficient flyer, a symbol of lifelong partnership, a powerhouse hunter, and a critical protector of its environment.
Think about those UV trails only it can see. Or the fact it might only flap its wings twice a minute way up there.
Exactly. And maybe it makes you wonder, what other creatures that seem familiar on the surface are holding on to equally mind-blowing secrets, just waiting for us to take a deeper look? Something to think about. Thanks for diving deep with us today.